to Mattia Esposito's live modern layering course today. We've got Mattia here with us this morning, and we are going to be doing the modern layer this afternoon. So just before we start this course, I just wanted to ask Mattia a few questions about him, about what education means, and so on and so forth. Anyway, so listen, Mattia, you just come over from London actually this morning. We're actually filming here today in Drury Buildings in Dublin, which we thank them very much for having us. But I mean, Mattia, you've been educating or been in the education circuit for some time now. Do you tell me a little bit, what does education mean to you as a stylist?
I think education is, the key to any good professional career. So in hairdressing in particular, education is the key to become, great at what you do, regardless what level you're at, regardless if you're a stylist, a technician, or, you're working on men's hair or women's hair. Education is everything, When I first started hairdressing, like in Italy especially, you'd be like, you learn a lot by watching and you capture everything by assisting, which is true. But you also need a lot of practice. You need a lot of different understanding of techniques, and then make it your own and go on and create your own ideas and become your own personal, stylist or personal technician and so on. But yes, education is key, and this is what I've been doing for a long time.
Very good.
You mentioned that it's like a progressive, and you have to practice an awful lot.
Yeah.
We strongly believe in that ourselves, as it's like a natural progression, but to continuously practice something, right? You mentioned you worked in Italy, right?
I do, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me.
Well, I'm originally from Italy, from Milan, and that's where I started hairdressing when I was 16.
Okay, 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did all my apprenticeship and 3 years of assisting on the floor, and that was the best time, really.
Where did you assist, can I ask?
Yeah, I worked in Milan, and I used to work for a brand called Toni & Guy, and that's where I started my whole career. And that was the best time because, like I said, you learn from the different style of the people that you're assisting on the floor. When you're working in a salon environment, everybody might be trained in a similar way, but then everybody will go on and be their own, personal way of doing things. So from you're probably learning something. From me, you see something slightly different. From another person, you see something slightly different, and that's the best way. And that's what we believe now that I'm with Taylor Taylor. We're quite individual as we're working on the floor, and we like that individualism of our staff because everybody's a great professional, but at the same time, they do things in a slightly different way. And our assistants enjoy that too, because they can learn slightly different ways of doing something and then decide what works for them or what works for that particular client that is on the chair tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, no, I totally do agree with that. Listen, could you highlight your career in like three points almost, if you can, or just tell us about your, what do you enjoy most about your work at the moment?
Yeah. I think as a person, and probably as well growing up in Italy and Milan, I've always been attracted to beauty and to fashion. Okay. So that's really what drives me within hairdressing. I'm always looking at the fashion world. We do, as a company, we work a lot on fashion shows and magazines, and we're very lucky to get access to all of that. But even when I was in Milan, I always try to get within the backstage of the fashion shows and so on. And I did work as well at Milan Fashion Week, both for men's and women's. So the work that I do is really much related to trends, but then I try to make it suitable for my clients. It's not just one way. That's a trend. Everybody's going to have that. No, I believe that you need to read those trends and then make them work for the person that's in your chair, for the type of hair, for the type of country where you're in as well. I traveled the world over my career, and every country's got a slightly different taste and different type of hair and different things that you need to do to make it work. So yeah, personally, I'm really much driven by trends and fashion and art and music a lot as well.
Very good indeed. I think fashion, I think a couple of questions I'll be asking myself is like you do a lot of session work and things like that. It's something that I would be true to me as well. I believe that the sort of imperfections of session hair becomes like a silhouette of perfection. It's really nice. But how that has evolved in salon environments is that people are less perfect about their work and becoming a little bit more free to sort of express that sort of imperfections, and I think that's really nice to see developing throughout our industry. You mentioned there as well about education and learning from different people. That is one of the reasons, we have an array of different stylists on board with what we do, so we can all learn from each other. You agree with that, wouldn't you? It's like we can all sort of take a little bit of bits and pieces from each other and adapt our own sort of niche, if you like, within the industry and become your own stylist.
You don't want somebody to be molded like somebody else, right? No, exactly. And this is what we do as well as a brand. We like collaborations, so we do collaborate sometimes with different brands as well, like we do now with Hairdressing Live. And it's great, because I do something, you do your way, and we all marry together and do what we believe is best. And hopefully the students or the clients at the end will grab what is suitable for them, what inspires them. But I believe in individualism, so you need to be your own person, you need to express what you think is right for yourself and for what you're doing. And then hopefully people will like it and take something from it.
Very good indeed.
Okay, so can I, we had a few questions come in, before we started here, so there's a couple of questions as I work along. Take us through your role in Taylor Taylor at the moment. I mean, the Taylor Taylor's a well-known brand, and we followed Taylor Taylor for a number of years. An incredible brand. Tell us exactly what your role is in there.
So with Taylor Taylor, I'm the head of education, which, to be honest, is a very exciting role that I have, because Taylor Taylor Education only started about a year and a half ago. Like you said, Taylor Taylor is a very well-known brand. We have currently 3 salons in London and also 1 abroad in a beautiful resort in the Maldives. We are in the prime locations in London, East London, Central London and West London. And this is how I believe we read very well the city, we read very well the trends and so on. But then a year and a half ago, we decided to launch education to hopefully inspire the hairdressing industry. And this is what I'm responsible for. And since I got on board with it, we try to promote the education, but at the same time, we're working quite freely, like you guys do. We like to do things slightly different. We like to be quite unique. We don't want to fit in all the traditional hairdressing education that, as you know, in Ireland and UK, education is really strong for hairdressing, but we like to look at things in a slightly different way. And this is what we've been doing in terms of even like the beauty of hairdressing, what you were saying about the imperfection, the editorial feeling. This is what we like to do. We like to do hair that they're real. They're not too perfect. There's not much retouching behind it. And it's wearable. It's something that you can wear. So hopefully after you watch the class today, you're going to be able to replicate what you see from today straight away tomorrow, any client that walks in your chair. Obviously, you need to have the understanding on what you need to change slightly, but we can go through in detail later on to then adapt it on different lengths and different textures and different hair. But this is what we're trying to do. Show you a trend and then how you can straight away use it. It's not just a beautiful picture, but you can't do it to somebody real life.
That's the beauty about this. I mean, it's live, it's current, it's the current movement of fashion. So it's like at the heartbeat, you've got it here now. That's what I mean. So for people tuning in today, to learn, for you to educate them on your technique, tell them exactly, what are they going to be learning from this today? Some of the key learning areas. I mean, you're taking them through like a modern layer. So tell us about that.
I mean, we said a modern layer because I believe mid-length hair and longer hair now are moving into a much more layered look. For the last couple of years, we saw obviously being very fashionable, wearing long bobs, wearing hair that were really full, no layer. All the clients were disliking the layers, were asking for something with no layers at all. But now it's a natural progression. So within the world of fashion, we've seen the models on the catwalk being more individual, first of all, and also wearing a reference of hair with more layer and movement. And then the clients, I believe as well, they are now tired of wearing this very heavy long bobs or this very heavy long hair. And finally, they want something lighter and softer. So what we're going to be doing today in the class is show you different techniques on how you can work a layering technique, and hopefully show you what we are doing at the moment with our clients, what we're doing with our courses, and what we believe is going to be hopefully quite popular and trendy over the next 6 months.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Super excited about it already. Look, I mean, you work a lot of fashion weeks, right? Tell us about that as well, about fashion. Like you do a lot of...
yeah, like I said, lucky, obviously, if you do live in London, London Fashion Week is a very important time of the season. Obviously, Fashion Week starts in New York, then it will go to London, and it will go to Milan and Paris. And I think every city has got a slightly different vibe. I worked in Milan before, and I think Milan is a lot more beautiful. I would say sometimes a little bit more commercial, because the big designers of Italy, they really want to sell their collection, so they want to make sure that something is wearable. London over the years used to be very creative and very dramatic, and I think now it's changing as well slightly. But for me, the excitement of working at Fashion Week is that you see hair in a slightly different way, not necessarily what you do in the salon every day, not necessarily what you do when you do a cutting course or a coloring course. And like you said, a designer, which is not a hairdresser, has got an idea of beauty which is most of the time different compared to a hairdresser. Yeah. So a good session stylist who's going to read the idea and put it into place, into practice, but again in a wearable way. So for us it's exciting because you get to try and work in different ways. You don't really cut hair, you don't really color, so you need to be creative with styling and with products. But also you can then, but also then, you can see the future trends first on. Yeah. And then 6 months time when it comes down and, it comes out, then, you work there, you know what's going on, you know what's happening, and you can just obviously promote it.
Totally agree. So look, I mean, before you go live, you see, we are going to have to have about 15 minutes before we get everything ready, before we go live. So we have some other questions we wanted to do, like one-word answers. So this gets to know the real nitty-gritty of Mattia, Okay, so what's your favorite movie?
Wow, favorite movies?
You can pass on some of these if you wanted to.
Okay, well, I think most memories are when you're younger, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So probably one of my favorite movies when I was younger was The Goonies.
The Goonies, great film actually.
It might not be fashionable, but it's quite cool.
I like The Goonies though, it's a good film. Favorite city?
Favorite city?
Would it have to be Italian?
No, I think it'll have to be London.
London?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love London, yeah.
But with the weather of Italy?
Okay, London with a good weather will be the best city in the world, but we'll have another 20 million people there. So then might be crazy.
Maybe not, maybe it'll become the unfavourite one. Mac or PC? You Mac or PC?
Mac, all the way, yeah.
Blondes or brunettes?
Ooh, brunettes. My wife is brunette.
Okay. A smoothie or a fry-up?
Smoothie.
Yes. Okay. Pasta or rice?
Of course.
I know. Stupid question. I had to ask that to an Italian, Controversial.
Yeah.
Your favourite shoot?
My favourite shoot? Wow, okay. Well, recently, obviously everybody knows, but there was been an amazing exhibition in London, which was the career of Sam McKnight. And that, I couldn't say there was one shoe in particular that I loved, but there was many of them. And if you have been lucky enough to have gone, it was amazing to see the, you know, everything that this guy did, and pretty much he did everything that you now know.
You
know.
had a wealth, magnitude of a massive career, hasn't it?
Yes, it's been amazing. But if you haven't seen it, you can get a book. And I'm not here to do any promotion, but I think it's great, you know, and it's really inspirational, really inspirational.
Well, listen, thank you very much. We're going to have to cut back and we're going to have to get you ready for the live presentation.
Yeah.
So if you haven't bought your ticket already, please do so now. You can go to hairdressing.live.com and buy your ticket to see Mattia do his modern barb. So we look forward to seeing everybody there. Okay, thank you very much.
See you soon.